Hi, everyone. About a minute on Jake Tapper's new book on President Biden and the fact that Biden was non-compos mentis while he was in office. And all I can think of as I'm seeing the coverage of the book and Tapper on television, all I can think about is this famous scene from Casablanca. Here it is.
How can he close me up? On what ground?
I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here.
Yes, the police inspector is shocked to know that there was gambling going on in the casino. And then Claude Rains telling Humphrey Bogart this. This is one of the most famous scenes in all of the history of movies. And it's the one that I keep coming back to because the whole episode here with Tapper and the legacy media's coverage of Joe Biden's term in office, when it was clear he wasn't up to the job, it was clear he didn't know where he was a lot of the time, and yet they kept covering for him. Jake Tapper was part of this. In fact, you can see there are a bunch of news clips out showing him saying, "Oh, well, this is not right. Biden seems to be fine, and how are you? This is all speculation." Or Joe Scarborough calling Biden the best Biden ever. And now they all have egg on their faces. And what is Biden's response when what is Tapper's response when he's confronted with all this? What did he tell one outlet? He says, "I look back at my coverage with humility." Humility? It's shameful what he did. And it's shameful how a lot of the legacy media is covering what happened and the coverage of Tapper's book. Here's a screen grab from NPR where I think it was on Fresh Air, and they're talking about Tapper's book, and they put "cover up" in quotation marks. Like, why is that even in scare quotes? There was a cover-up. There was a conspiracy, in fact, within the Democratic Party and the Democratic Party leadership and the top officials at the White House to cover up Joe Biden's inability to function in office. And yet what has happened? There was crickets. Remember, there was no coverage of this by the legacy media effectively before the election. And now here we are in May of 2025. 7 months after the election, and suddenly, we had no idea. I mean, it's truly incredible how this story is unfolding, and the investigation that needs to happen now is, well, who was making the decisions in the White House when it was clear that Joe Biden wasn't capable of running the office? Who was making all these decisions on immigration, on energy policy? There needs to be an investigation here, and of course it will be highly political, but nevertheless, what we're seeing here is, I mean, it truly is remarkable. And to see Tapper saying, "Oh, I'm looking back on this with humility." Oh, come on. You should be ashamed of yourself. But, this is just yet another example when it comes to these kinds of issues. There's no shame in the legacy media. Unfortunate example. And I say that as someone who's been a reporter my whole career. I've been doing this for 40 years. I've never seen anything like this. It truly is appalling. I'll stop there. You know where to find me. I'm on Substack, robertbryce.substack.com. Thanks a lot. See ya.